invention. Now you might be thinking that I'm talking about love for someone else or love for something else that is preventing you from working on your invention and being successful. Well, in this case, you'd be wrong. Hey, it's Don Skaggs with Empowered Inventing, the one place where we try to help you get your behaviors right, because a lot of times if we can get you to behave like a successful inventor or a successful entrepreneur, behave the way they do, it will help you to become successful yourself. Now, I want to talk to you today about kind of an odd subject for inventing, and that's the subject of love. You know, love can be a wonderful thing. It can bind us to spouses, family, friends, and a lot of good things in people that's within our lives. But there's a downside to love. Actually, love, if it's applied in the wrong thing or in the wrong ways or to the wrong thing, the results can be disastrous. Take, for instance, your invention. Sometimes love can actually get in the way of your idea. Now, or the success of your invention. Now you might be thinking that I'm talking about love for someone else or love for something else that is preventing you from working on your invention and being successful. Well, in this case, you'd be wrong, because what I'm talking about is the love for your invention getting in its own way and actually preventing your invention, your idea, your startup, your business from being successful. And unfortunately, this is a scenario that I have just seen way too many times with inventors and entrepreneurs. You see, we have a natural tendency to treat our invention, we've talked about this in other videos before, treat your invention, your idea, your business like it's a baby. And really, if you think about it, you gave birth to the idea of the product or the business, the invention or the startup. And so you've nurtured it, you've watched it grow, you watched it as it sort of started to take form, as it was an idea in your head, and then you wrote it down and you started to see it take shape in words and in the right description. You watched it take its first steps as a prototype, and you watched it actually function, and it was so exciting. And then you turned it into something that you could demonstrate and show to other people. And you got even more excited. And you just became more enamored with all this. And all those are good things. But herein lies the danger, is you're starting to really fall in love with this idea. So you have this tendency to feel like it's something that's a part of you. And what you'll do is you'll end up treating it like a baby. And if you treat your invention, as we've said many times before, if you treat your invention like a baby, it's going to behave like a baby. It doesn't matter if it's diapers or college tuition, babies cost money. But the day that you decide you're going to stop treating it like a baby, you're going to start treating it like a product, that's the day it begins to behave like a product. And products and businesses have the ability to make money instead of costing you money. But we have this natural tendency. So there's these warning signs. I mean, you might say, "Well, Don, that's not me. I'm separating myself from all that," and you tell yourself that. But we all sort of have these natural tendency to do these things. Let me talk to you about a couple of warning signs that might help you divert from heading down the wrong road with all this. And one is, do you treat your idea like it's already perfect? And if you do that, if you treat your invention, your product, your business like it's already perfect and there's nothing that could be improved on it, that could be a recipe for disaster. Because, and again, this goes back to the whole baby principle. You're saying, my baby's perfect, there's nothing wrong with my baby. But people from the outside might criticize it. They might say, well, what if you did this? Or what if you do that? And you want to take the aggregate of those criticisms, the good constructive stuff, not the stuff from negative people that's never done anything in their life, or from good constructive criticism from potential customers that would say, well, yeah, I'd pay money for that, or no, I'm sorry, I wouldn't buy that. That type of input, if you bristle, and you're going to bristle anyway, and let me tell you, even us seasoned inventors, we still have that natural paternal instinct, and we just want to kind of bristle when somebody says, well, now what if we change this? And we kind of say, well, no, that's not what I had in mind originally. But we have to be open to that. You have to force yourself to be open to that, because it's very, very important, because it's not about you. It's about the customer, and it's about helping that customer and fulfilling their needs, solving their really painful problem. And when you take that, it's not all about me, and you make it about them, that gets you on the road to success. So that's a warning sign. If you start to bristle, if you start to say, no, it's perfect. It's perfect just like it is. It's not. It's never perfect just like it is. There's always room for improvement, and you always get that input, usually not from yourself, but from people in the outside that's bringing you information in. Now, another really important warning sign to look for here is, how do you treat failures and setbacks? Because if you've got this kind of love relationship with your invention, and it's kind of gone to that unhealthy level, you might do one or two things. Number one, you might just break up with your invention. You might say, okay, I'm done with this. It's got too hard, and I'm just going to move on. And sometimes it's okay to move on to something else, but if you're just saying, I'm going to move on, I'm never going to do anything else ever again, that's not good. That is making yourself a failure without getting through the fail that happened. So how do you treat these setbacks? If you're just kind of wanting to break up with it, you might be on the brink of a really, really, really good pivot, and you don't even realize it. Now, a good case in point of this was Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie really had a low point in his life when the railroads were overbuilt, and he was producing steel for these railroads, and it was like, oh, okay, well, now my market's drying up. What am I going to do? And so he had to look, and he actually found bridges and buildings was this upcoming new market back in the 1880s when all this was going on. And so he actually found this new market that completely changed everything, changed our world, changed his business, changed it all. But he wouldn't have done that if he'd just given up and say, well, okay, the market's up, I'm going to cash in my chips, I'm breaking up with this business, and I'm just going to call it a day. No, he pressed on. So a lot of times if you have a failure and a setback, don't let that make you break up with your idea. Sometimes you might be just on the brink of something new, and it would be something completely different, not what you expected, not maybe what you were even hoping for. But again, it's not all about you. It's about them. It's about helping other people and solving their problems. And them in turn, as we've said many, many times before on here, giving you certificates of appreciation, saying, yes, you did help us. We want you to help us more. And they give you these certificates called dollar bills. So instead of just breaking up with your idea when things go awry or something just goes wrong, or you feel like you've hit some kind of brick wall, look into that and try to figure out what reasons that this happened, and try to use those reasons and your creativity, the same one that got you there to start with. So many inventors have this creative problem-solving ability that they don't use at this point. They just kind of shut it off. But if you use that going forward, you could actually improve and pivot and make it become the right thing that it was supposed to be all along. Again, helping other people. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I hope these videos are helpful for you. I'm Don Skaggs, Empowered Inventing. Check out our website, empoweredinventing.com. We've got new things we're adding all the time. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure and subscribe. Hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, and help us to grow our tribe. And I will look to see you at the next meeting, workshop, maybe one of our online classes, or on the next video.